and they put out signature Caitlyn Clark balls and other merch that literally sold out within minutes of them going live.
And they released exclusive Caitlyn Clark balls and other merchandise, which virtually ran out minutes after they went on sale. At last, Nike recognized Caitlyn Clark as the WNBA star and is now actively promoting her on a number of channels. A.A. Wilson is upset about the change after recent reaction forced Nike to increase Caitlyn Clark's promotion. Some fans continue to maintain that A.A. is the best player in the league.
28 years old, 1,000 points in the regular season. Why is that not the biggest story out at the moment? Why are we talking about Caitlyn Clark?
Why exactly? Why when Asia was releasing a shoe were we talking about?
A.A. Wilson feels she should receive the most promotion because she is the major attraction, but the statistics on fan interaction unfortunately indicate otherwise.
There's a mindset that Asia has to adopt to justify getting treatment she knows she doesn't deserve.
Despite being the best player this season, A.A. Wilson doesn't connect as well with consumers when it comes to marketing. While A's products frequently go unrecognized, Caitlyn Clark's merchandise sells out instantly, demonstrating the stark difference in their marketability and fan involvement.
Wilson is the best player in the league. Well, she has come out and she has made some more comments, and it is like these players just don't want these new fans, even though the new fans are the ones that drive the revenue, plain and simple.
The league's greatest player, A'ja Wilson, has gone out and made some additional remarks. It seems like these players don't want these new fans, despite the fact that they are the ones who generate the income, to put it simply. A.A. Wilson still believes she can compete with Caitlyn Clark, but Nike's pledge to give her more opportunities hasn't worked out because Caitlyn keeps becoming better. It's clear that A.A. is finding it difficult to cope with the strain and highlights.
Her play on the court doesn't always equate to how many shoes you will sell.
Nike is demonstrating their dedication to Caitlyn Clark's talent and marketability by finally stepping up their marketing of her, acknowledging her as the WNBA's real star despite A.A. Wilson's attempts to eclipse her. Hopefully, A.A. won't attempt to undermine Caitlyn's accomplishments once more, like she did a few weeks ago.
Voice that I don't really listen to, honestly, because I'm in season. I have other things that we need to worry about than what other people have to say.
Nike first supported A.A. Wilson as their primary WNBA representative, but as Caitlyn Clark's fanbase grew, the company was unable to ignore her. Discussions about Clark dominated social media sports news and even reached casual basketball fans who had not previously paid much attention to the WNBA, realizing that this was more than just a passing trend, but a major change in women's basketball. Nike saw how critical it was to team up with Clark in order to take advantage of a fantastic opportunity and solidify their place in the changing women's sports environment.
And a bunch of these players to get very jealous and petty very quick.
And it caused a lot of these players to get quite envious and penny very fast. For A.A. Wilson, this change felt like a personal betrayal rather than merely a business move. Nike was hesitant to make big decisions at first, since they had already made a large investment on Wilson as their reliable star, but as time went on, their hesitation began to wane. Caitlyn Clark was leading a movement in addition to being a gifted athlete. She attracted young admirers in particular because they saw her as a role model. Nike saw this as an excellent chance. In the end, it became evident to Nike that backing Clark matched with their vision for the future of women's basketball, which led them to change their marketing approach. Young fans are extremely valuable to a brand like Nike because of their loyalty, frequent merchandise purchases, and ability to influence peers and family, things that A.A. Wilson simply couldn't offer.
Coming along and elevating the sport shine ultimately benefits you. Go out there, compete with her, try to bust her up if you want to, and all of that stuff. Just don't hate on the acclaim that she's getting.
Nike had to face the fact that Caitlyn Clark was quickly emerging as one of the most marketable athletes in women's sports, even though her on-court performance was a major factor in this growth. Nike realized that her appeal went well beyond conventional basketball fans. Nike decided to completely invest in promoting Clark as the face of the WNBA when she became well-known and started conversations in a variety of circles, making her crossover appeal extremely beneficial for the company.
Top jersey sales in the WNBA this season, and A'ja, despite being a third-time MVP, her jersey sales were 5th in the league even after Kate Martin, who barely saw the court the second half of this.
We didn't actually see the numbers, but we did see the highest jersey sales in the WNBA this season in Asia. Even though she was a 3-time MVP, her jersey sales were 5th in the league even after Kate Martin, who didn't play much in the second half of this season. This was a turning point for Nike because they realized they needed to change their approach because Caitlyn Clark was attracting a wide range of demographics, attracting new fans, and creating an excitement that was hard to duplicate. When Nike saw a rising star like Clark, they knew it was time to make a calculated move, so they started directing their promotional efforts toward her, which understandably didn't sit well with Asia. Wilson felt jealous of Clark's quick rise, and it wasn't only about the more attention Clark was getting. Wilson thought she had earned the attention, only to have it seeming to be taken away from her.
The Tim Duncan of the WNBA doesn't sell shoes, doesn't drive TV ratings. That's not what he does. That's who Asia Wilson is. But she has to adopt this mindset of, I'm owed this, and you white girls need to back your ass up while I get what's owed to me. It's all just it's endless reparation.
That's what A.L. Wilson is. The Tim Duncan of the WNBA doesn't sell shoes or drive TV ratings, but she needs to adopt the attitude that, I'm owed this, and you white girls need to back your ass up while I get what's owed to me. It's all just endless reparations to Wilson. It seemed as though Caitlyn Clark had not experienced the same hardships and difficulties that she had. In her public remarks, Wilson hinted that Clark's meteoric rise was due to more than just her basketball prowess. This back and forth affected Wilson's reputation as a modest and hardworking star who let her performance speak for her. Her comments about Clark now came off as resentful and bitter, and fans who had once supported her started to wonder if Wilson could handle the pressure of sharing the limelight with another up-and-coming star. This change in perception wasn't good for Wilson.
Us as black women, Paige reminds me a lot of you. Like, you say you're not really about me. And she knows how her privilege has gotten her to that point.
Favors us as women of color. Paige makes me think of the statement, "You're not really about me," since she is aware of how her privilege has her at that moment. Beyond her basketball prowess, Caitlyn Clark's journey to fame was distinguished by her special capacity for fan interaction. Fans felt that something magical could happen at any time, so they were compelled to watch every game. Clark's strong bond with her fans was essential to her marketability because they wanted to be involved in her journey, not just watch her play. They sought out her jerseys, followed her on social media, and looked for ways to support her. This kind of unwavering fan loyalty is extremely uncommon and attracts the attention of major brands like Nike saw that leveraging Clark's fan following might generate significant profits, making her an important component of their marketing plan.
Currently the best player in the WNBA? Yes. Is Caitlyn Clark currently the face of the WNBA? Yes. Do I think if Asia Wilson dropped a shoe and Caitlyn Clark dropped a shoe today at the very same time, that Caitlyn Clark would outsell Asia's shoe by 100 times? Yes, I think that would be the case.
When Nike started to release merchandise related to Caitlyn Clark, the response was nothing short of amazing. Her name was printed on jerseys that were flying off the shelves, and even basic items like posters and t-shirts sold out quickly. Nike saw this as a huge business opportunity and couldn't afford to overlook the real game. But the fans of Clark's custom shoes had been waiting impatiently for this moment, and when Nike hinted at creating a shoe bearing her name, the excitement reached new heights. It was generally accepted that the shoe would sell out in a matter of minutes after it was formally released. Clark's devoted and ardent fan base was ready to buy anything with her name for Asia and was ready to support her at every opportunity. Wilson's SDK comparison was difficult because when Nike released her signature shoe, the response was not as strong as Clark's ardent fan base. Although Wilson had a devoted fan base, it lacked the same level of engagement or enthusiasm that Clark had fostered. Wilson's merchandise sales were consistent, but far below the sellout numbers that Clark was producing, and this discrepancy was a major reason why Nike decided to change their marketing strategy. It was just a business decision motivated by market conditions. It wasn't personal.
Stop being petty. Stop being catty, because she like a double-edged sword. She cutting tail left and right. and it's bothering y'all, and I see it. Let's go, Caitlyn. Hey, do me a favor, CC. Send your favorite uncle a jersey with your autograph on it, and I'll wear it.
Stop being petty and stop being Sai, because she is a double sword and can't discern left from right. I understand that it's upsetting you guys, so let's move on. Please do me a favor, Caitlyn. This type of commercial success is what brands aspire to, which is why Nike could no longer ignore you. CC's your favorite AR jersey with your autograph on it, and I wear it. One of the main reasons they chose AA was Caitlyn Clark. They realized that increasing their marketing of her would result in higher sales and greater brand awareness. Wilson found this change difficult to accept since, in the competitive world of sports marketing, difference is what counts most. Despite her incredible accomplishments on the court, her apparel sales just couldn't match Clark's. Being one of the biggest brands in the world, Nike doesn't make snap decisions, so their choice to shift their focus from Wilson to Clark wasn't chosen carelessly. Rather, it was the result of careful consideration and strategic planning. Although players like Angel Reese openly supported Wilson, Maine kept a close relationship with Wilson for years until they realized that this was an opportunity they could not pass up when they saw Clark's rapid rise. Wilson was forced to back off once Caitlyn Clark became Nike's main celebrity. This shift emphasizes the harsh reality of sports marketing, where financial success frequently triumphs over devoted followership.
Her shoe. Sorry.
I love her shoe. I'm so happy for her. I mean, she's deserved it. Asia has been somebody that's inspired me, not just on the court, but off the court. And as a Black woman, her story, being from South Carolina and everything behind that. So I'm super happy for her. I wish if I could wear Nike, I would definitely wear her shoe.
From Nike's point of view, this change was solely about the numbers. Clark was attracting more spectators, creating more excitement, and eventually increasing revenue. It had nothing to do with selecting one player over another or pronouncing Caitlyn Clark superior to AIA Wilson. However, this transition was anything but easy for Wilson. She had been the face of Nike's WNBA campaigns for years, and now it seemed as though they were moving on without her. From Nike's perspective, however, this was the natural evolution of the business. Clark represented the future, and investing in her was essential for the brand's continued growth. Nike realized that they had to seize this opportunity, which meant reallocating their promotional resources to support Clark. This was a calculated business decision, plain and simple. Wilson's reactions demonstrated the emotional toll of a fast-changing scene, and her discontent was evident.
Seriously? The arrogance. People are going to consume what they want to consume and who they want to consume, whether you like it or not, and it's not up to Asia Wilson to let anybody do anything.